Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I'm back with some more mixed media. I'm back with what this is. This is that Finnabar style, or I like to call it salvaged art. But it's that Finnabar style. If you look at the Finnabar style, they do a lot of stuff like this, and I love doing it. I haven't done it for a while, so I'm so happy to be doing this piece. So I just want to show you what the final piece is going to look like. Now, all this stuff you're looking at is not attached, okay? Because we're going to take this and attach it to another substrate, and you'll understand in a second. But this is what the final product is going to look like. Something like this. Let me see what you guys are seeing. Let me come in a little bit closer. There we go. So you can really see. So this is the bottom, and this is done on a wooden tag that I got from Dollar Tree. Okay. Make sure of what you guys are seeing. Okay, and then I'm just moving the this wooden tag, and I picked up a ton of these. I picked up about 10 of them. Because I knew once they were gone, I'm not going to be able to get these back in. I mean, you're not going to get them. They're for Valentine's Day. So they're wooden tags. They're that wooden tag shape. And I'll show you what they look like before I did all this stuff to them at Dollar Tree. Okay. And just really quick, I'll go through what some of this stuff is. These are flowers. These are Prima flowers that I put together and put 3 or 4 different flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers together. And also stain these up with some of the inks and sprays that I have, okay? So that's all the flowers. And I'll show you what the Prima flowers look like. It's these. These have also been dyed with my inks, but they're Prima flowers like this. And I was able to buy packs of them, like these little, I'll have to show you guys. Let me get up. Sorry about that noise. I picked these up at a it was like a craft garage sale at a craft store that was going out of business. It's kind of crazy. It was selling for $4. I picked these up for $1. So are these Prima? Yeah, they're Prima. Okay, so I picked up this. Isn't this cool? Look at this canister. And it has buttons on the top. And regularly it was like $4 or $5, $6. I picked them up for $1. So you guys, I couldn't buy enough. So I have tons of Prima flowers that I can dye with inks. And it doesn't matter what the color is, you can dye right over them. Well, actually what I did is I used some gesso on them first, and then I dyed them. That's what I did, just to make sure I could kind of really get the colors I wanted. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys those. So that's all the flowers. The little birdie here is from Dollar Tree. So if you see these little birds, pick some of these up. You can use them in so many of your projects. This is just a little bit of some moss that it's sitting on. Okay, now this is what's really cool. Let's see what you guys are seeing. Okay, right here, this key. Oh, so let me see, make sure you guys are seeing the flowers. So that's the flowers. Then I had this key. Let me show you the key. I rusted this key up. Isn't that cool looking or what? Love it. Look how nice and rusty that looks. I rusted this key with my own homemade rust paste. And I have all different colors. I made it all gritty. And that's going to be a whole nother video I will share with you how I did it. So here's another key. These are a whole bunch of little metal embellishment pieces that I did with my homemade rust paste. And I think Prima makes that rust paste. Look how cool it is. And that's going to save you a ton of money to be able to make your own homemade rust paste. And it works, well, you can see how beautiful it works. And I have so many colors of the rust paste that I made. Okay, so that's what's right there. And then if we move down here, there's that key. I put it back in its place. And then you can see right here, I just did some, these are these flowers I got from Dollar Tree. They're not flowers, they're like little stems. I already started gessoing them. This right here, that's what that is. And they're just little, I don't know, but these are what they look like. And they come in pink, so I gesso them and then I make them the color I want to make them. That's what they look like originally. And then I start gessoing them, and then I can spray them or use my inks or watercolors or whatever I want to color them in. Then I have feathers here, which are my own that I actually got from a beach in California. I have tons of them. I dyed those with some inks and some sprays. These are little paper, little scrolls I made out of music note paper. Now here's another one that I rusted. Isn't that fabulous? That's with my homemade rust paste. Yes, ma'am. I know, that rust paste turned out fabulous. I love doing it. It's so relaxing just to get a bunch of metal pieces. And it doesn't have to be metal. You can do all kinds of things with it. You don't have to just do metal pieces. And just sit there and rust stuff. And then these are some pearl, I have a bunch of pearl string, and I started laying pearls all over it. This is another piece. I make my own molds, and then I take plaster of Paris, and then I run them through the molds. This was something in my craft room that I molded. So I'll make a video on that, how to make your own molds and then make your own pieces with plaster of Paris. And then that's a napkin over it. And then I did a distress technique on this. So that goes right here. Okay, so let me bring you out. Oh, and then there's the background. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I created this beautiful, beautiful background. That's all, this beautiful background that looks just all very old world and very rustic. Okay? All right, so let's get started. You know, let me put this, I don't need this at all right now. So let me go put this, over on the other side of my craft room before it just all gets really messed up. I kind of like having this already kind of done. And all those pieces I just showed you, we're going to take all those pieces and put it on this new substrate that we're working on. Okay, so this is what the tag looks like. It's a wooden tag from Dollar Tree. You can see it says Happy Valentine's Day. It has a bicycle. It's super cute. Okay, so get it, maybe 1 or 2 for Valentine's Day, but get more for art. Okay, let me see if I can, there we go. Okay, so, let me see if I can tell you anything else. Okay, that was it. I had some notes here. I want to make sure I covered everything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start covering this with some really beautiful papers. So, first thing, put this down. I have some, is this Prima? I think this is some Prima papers. Isn't that gorgeous? I used some of it already. So we're going to put some Prima paper down. Okay, let's tear this because we're not going to use this whole thing of Prima. We're going to use about like this much of the Prima. And I'm going to go right over the edge. Even though, you know, right here you can see that there's, you know, it's cut off there to make it look like a tag. I'm going to go over that edge so I don't have to fight that. And we'll cut it off later. Let me just cut off this top of this pink that I don't want. All right, so let me get out my homemade Mod Podge. Oh, and my rust paste, like I said, I'm going to make a rust paste video, show you guys exactly how I made the rust paste, and we'll rust a bunch of pieces, okay? So that'll be a really fun video. That will be coming up after this, after we get done with this project. That'll be really, really fun. So, oh, and there's a piece of, there's like a burlappy rope that comes with it. It's right here. I took that out, and we'll put it back in when we're done so it can be hung. Isn't this a fabulous substrate? That's some advice I could give you is whenever you see really cool signs at Dollar Tree that you think would be cool to use as a base, as a surface, or you call it a substrate, pick them up. I also picked up the the old-fashioned red truck, because we're going to do some stuff with that too. So, very exciting. Okay, so let's put this down. Hopefully I'm in frame. I don't even know. I'll check in just a second, guys. Okay. This substrate, or this tag, this wooden tag is it's really long, so it's kind of hard to stay completely in frame. So I get out of frame for a second. Please don't hate me. Just a second. I got to get some baby wipes because we're dealing with glue. Here it is. It's a little paint scraper. You can use a card if you want. It's whatever you want. You can use a old credit card or whatever. Put a little bit more glue down here. Okay. Okay, so everything's glued down there. Now we're going to use another really pretty piece. I think I'm going to use, I think we'll use this one. This piece of paper here is gorgeous. There's something, I think it's called Color Block or Color Block or something like that. It's a paper line at Walmart. It's cheap. It's like $5. Look how gorgeous that is. Look how old world it looks. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that was probably the first paper pads I ever bought, because when I first started this whole crafting thing, I was like, oh my God, $10, $20, $30 for a paper pad? Oh my God, no way. So I started with the color, I think they're called Color Block paper pads at Walmart first. And I still don't spend a ton of money on paper pads. I wait till they go on clearance, but it was a way for me to get started with buying paper pads. So that's how long ago I bought this. Like, oh, probably, God, 8 years ago. When I started this whole YouTube crafting thing. So believe me, I understand, you know, when you trip out on the price of some things when you first get started in crafting or arting. But make sure, too, you need to get what you need to get, but also take advantage of clearances. So always be paying attention to videos when you see clearances. Especially if you're new to crafting and you want to start, you know, taking advantage of good prices and building your stash of, you know, all your crafting goodies, all your crafting supplies. Okay. So let's put this here. And again, it's hanging off the side, which is fine with me. We'll cut that off at the end once it dries. So for now, you're not going to be able to tell it's a tag because we are going over that edge. Now, if you're Mod Podging all your papers on, you can just take it and go right over the top. But I don't have time for this glue to dry, so that's why I'm doing it like this, where I'm not putting glue on top. But you can. What else do I have here? Let's do some music notes. You know, I have some book pages that I want to put in between here and here. So let me grab that. Some dictionary pages. Fabulous. So this is just some old dictionary. Isn't that just fabulous? And what I mean by fabulous is how, like, aged it is. It looks like a Tim Holtz distressed that, doesn't it? Nope. I think I bought a dictionary from Dollar Tree, and I just let it sit in the garage for a while. It was in some box, and I opened up the box, and I went, ooh, that aged perfectly. So it actually naturally happened. I'm going to use a magazine as a glue surface also. we can control the glue situation. So here we go. I'm going to use this as a glue surface. Let me put my iPad away. There we go. So I'm not sure if you're seeing me over here on the side, but I'm just using this magazine as a glue surface. And I just want to put this like in between these two. Now, is there any right or wrong with any of this? No. You just do you. You do what you feel looks right. I love the juxtaposition of all three of those. So that's what I'm doing. Cool, huh? Okay, so let me move that up. I'm going to move the tag up so we can work at the bottom, middle to the bottom. What else are we going to do? Let's put in, this is some Tim Holtz. Love this stuff. Isn't that fabulous? Oh, absolutely love it. Do I want to put that there, or do I want to put this? So what I like to do too is I like to always trim off, like tear off the edges, so it just looks better when you're doing this type of work to have torn edges. In my opinion. Somebody may say, I don't agree, but in my opinion. All right. I love torn edges. I think they're just the bomb. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that there. And then I got something else I'm putting here at the bottom. Okay. So again, turn our magazine so we have a fresh page to use. Okay. I love doing stuff like this. I just think it's so fun. So in the end, I will end up having, let's put this up a little bit. In the end, I will end up having two of these that are similar, not the same, but similar. And one I'm gonna keep, and one I'm making and put in my little stash for a gift. So I want to make, every time I make one of these Finnabar inspired pieces, I want to make two of them similar. One for me to keep, because I want to keep one too. And then just have a little pile of them for gifts to give away. In fact, I know someone I'm going to give one to already. Okay. Let's put that piece right on top of that. I already know who's getting the second one. In fact, this year, these will be, a lot of the gifts I give out will be these. For birthdays and Christmas presents and just because presents to my crafty friends. I don't give this kind of stuff out to too many other people besides my crafty friends because they understand, like, they appreciate it. When you give this kind of stuff out to, like, you know, regular people, they don't understand. They don't understand the time and the anguish. All right, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but you guys know what I mean. So the reason I use this magazine, it's just like a nice glue surface. And when I'm done with this page, I can just turn it. And we just have a fresh area to work on all the time. So that's why I use this magazine. I got the idea from, I saw someone using a phone book. They're doing it with a phone book. And I would love to use a phone book. So I went to go look at our phone book. I'm like, they don't make phone books anymore. At least I could be wrong. But here in Las Vegas, I could not find a phone book. So they used to always drop them at your house, remember? But they don't, you know, they don't do that anymore. They haven't done that for a while. But I thought they used to carry them at the grocery stores next to all the free magazines. They'd always have a couple phone books down on the bottom. Nope. Not anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so I like this right here. I'm going to put these roses at the bottom. Isn't that gorgeous? And where do I want these roses closer to the corner? So, yeah, I want these roses closer to the corner like this. But I still need some coverage here. So let me see if I want to do that. No, I think that whole piece looks good. Let me grab some more book pages here. Some more dictionary pages. Sorry about that. I know I hate when I hear that sound, that scraping. Okay. Just tearing edges off so I can tear what I want. Okay. I think I want something like this, and then that to go like that. Yeah. So we're looking for everything to be really, you know, ripped and tattered looking and aged. So before we get to putting all the flowers and all of the rusted pieces down, we're going to have a beautiful aged looking type of surface. Okay. Next, now we want to put, what the heck is that? Let's put these flowers here. Okay. You know what? I'm going to get rid of some of this. I love how I decided to get rid of something after I have glue all over it. All right. Just got my hands all gluey for no reason. All right, that's going to hang off there, but no major. We'll cut that off. Ooh, I need a fresh baby wipe. That wipe had glue all over it. Make sure you always keep some baby wipes beside you when you craft. Whether you're doing mixed media or any crafts, you know, we're always all using glue and stuff. It just really helps to have that right beside you. So you can kind of keep your surface kind of cleaned up in your hands and your tools. Okay. All right. I'm loving this. Let me show it to you. So you can see that's the top. And like I said, right here we have to, you know, cut that back and cut it off. But we'll do that once this is dried. I'm going to start giving it a little bit of a head start right there, so it knows. In fact, you know what? Let's just do this. We'll just bend it. There we go. Perfect. Doesn't that look cool already? Love it. Okay, so now, oh. Okay, so the next step we're going to do, you know, what time is it? Okay, you guys, in 5 minutes, the video will just stop and it'll start a new video. So just go to part 2, okay? And when you get to part 2, it just continues on as if I never stopped. So, all right. All right. And the beauty with all this, you have all this beautiful collage fodder left. Oh, for another project. Look at all that yumminess. I love, this makes me happy. Just seeing all stuff like that. Oh, love it. I never ran into a piece of paper I didn't love. Well, that's not true, but. Okay, let me put the glue away. Next, we're going to use some, I use wall compound. You can use texture paste if you have texture paste. If not, you can buy wall compound by the tubs this big at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart for like $5 or $6. It's just the stuff like if you put a hole in the wall, you know how you use the wall compound to fix the hole? That's the same stuff, okay? So, I know they sell you all this other stuff in the stores. I use this. And I have the same thing of wall compound I've had for the last 5 years. It will dry out probably before I ever have to buy more. I'll have to buy more because it dried out. Okay. In fact, this got a little bit, it didn't get dry, it just got a little stiffened up, so I've been adding a little water to it just to make sure that we don't, because this has been in here for a long time. So I have a big tub of it, but I keep a little bit in this thing beside me. And I have this lid on it, and then I have a rubber band that goes on top of that. So, okay, so I like to use a little business card for this. I better be able to find one. Here we go. There's like more than one. I have a ton of little cards. Okay. So just a little card. And we're going to use some wall compound, do a stencil. And they're going to use the stencil. So just choose whatever type of stencil. But to me, the stencil has a very Victorian type of look. Like old wallpaper look, which I love. Okay, let me just put a little bit of this right here on my... It has a very old world pattern looking, and I love that. Okay, so now we're just going to, here and there, rub some of this wall compound, or in your case, if you have texture paste, use texture paste. But honestly, this is the kind of stuff they used originally before we got fancy and all the companies started using, carrying texture paste. You can run color through these texture paste, and just like how they sell colored texture paste. The only thing I don't like about this stencil, it's not the strongest stencil. It's a little flimsy. Love that. All right, so let's do some more over here. It's not the strongest stencil, that's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of a flimsy stencil, so I have to kind of be careful. It's a flimsy stencil, and it's one of my faves. It's not the best to put wall compound through, but oh well. It will survive. Okay. And I'm not putting it everywhere. I'm just putting it here and there. Make sure you guys are seeing that. Let me move my tag up. Okay. So when we're done, we want this to look very old world, very old, chipped up, old world, like kind of wall. Like old doors and old wall. Everything's kind of been there for a long time. It's weathered, it's worn, it's chipped up. That's the kind of look. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that's what I'm pretty much always trying to create. Everything I do. Okay. There's that. And then let's put some more down in here. Probably just right here and here we'll put a little bit. And then this will have to dry. And I'll probably let this dry overnight. I mean, it probably will dry in, you know, an hour or two. But I won't hit this back again until tomorrow. And then you guys can catch the next part of this on part 3. And I was still worried about, you know, being able to edit my videos because I just haven't really been able to find editing software that I could learn and understand. And Penny, I think, she commented, she goes, you know what? I'm glad you don't edit. She goes, I'm glad you don't make these long hour videos. She goes, I like that you make 30-minute videos and then I can watch it for 30 minutes and then go do something else and then watch another 30 minutes the next day or later on that day. And I said, oh, that's a good way of looking at it. So, okay, love this. Absolutely love it. Okay, so let me put this in some water. I'm going to talk to you guys for a minute, but you do want to clean your stencil as soon as possible. Like I'm just going to put this aside for right now, but I will go to my sink and I will get that washed off because that is wall compound. And your stencil will, it won't be a stencil anymore. But I have good, you know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes before that gets too dried out. So this is what what it looks like so far. Let me give you guys a close-up. In fact, you know what? We're at 31 minutes. You know what we'll do is, let me just let you look at this really quick. Hopefully the other video hasn't started. I thought maybe I would be too slow and the video would have already started. So let's end it here. Let this dry for 24 hours and I will be back and we will continue on. Okay? I will see you guys shortly.